first tutorial on LLM model, and we will see how we can use Mixtral LLM model from Mistral AI to create our prompt. We will use Hugging Face Hub API token to access this model for free. Let's import OS, and then we will import from get pass, import get pass. OS module allows us to perform operating system related tasks such as file and directory operations, environment variables, and etc. GetPass handles password prompt, allowing users to enter password without showing it on screen. So I can enter my API's keys and you won't be able to see it. Let's store our API's keys in the variable. I will write it here. Hugging Face Hub underscore API underscore token, and then I will call this method getPass that we imported above. And before I execute this function, I will get my API keys from Hugging Face. Here in Google, I will type here Hugging Face, and then I will go to my profile, and then I will click on settings, and here I will click on access tokens, and here I have two tokens here. First one is tutorial and the second one is chat, and I can use any one of them. Let's say I'm going to use this one, so I will just click here copy, and I have copied my API keys. Now I'm going to come here and I will execute the code here. Now it is asking me to provide API keys that I have copied. I will paste it and I will press enter here. As you can see that I have entered my API keys, but you cannot see it because of this function get pass. So it is really a good helper function. And then you have to note that you have to write the environment variable as it is, like this one, Hugging Face API token. Otherwise it will throw an error later in the code. Since we have stored our API keys, let's set our environment variable next using OS module. We will set the value of Hugging Face API token to itself because we have stored our API keys in this step. So I am going to call here os.environ, and then I will create a list here or a open bracket. Then I will copy it from here, this Hugging Face API token. I'll put here single or double quotes. I'll paste it here, and then I'll assign it to itself. So I'll again paste this same Hugging Face API token here. And now let us execute our code. So we have set the environment variable, that is our API keys are now set, and we can use this in this Jupyter notebook. Now we are going to import Hugging Face Hub, prompt template, and LLM chain from LangChain. I will write here from LangChain import Hugging Face Hub, then prompt template, and then LLM chain. Let us execute our code. To create prompt template, we first need to create a template and input variable that we will pass as an argument to prompt template function. Let's create template and input variable. I will write here template. This is going to be our variable. Then we will write, or we will use triple quotes here, and then I'll press enter, and inside this triple quote we are going to pass our input variable. I will write here question, and this is going to be inside this curly braces question, and this is going to be our input variable, this question. And I'll write here answer. I will just write here let's think step by step, and I'm going to execute this code or this line. So we have this template here. If I print this template, so you will see that we have this question, and this is going to be our input variable, and this is our template. Now we are going to define prompt using the function prompt template. I'll make a variable prompt, and then I will call this function prompt template that we had imported here, this one. And inside this, if you look at its parameter, so you will see here, if I click here, so we have this input variable as one of the required one, and then we have this template as one of the required argument. First we are going to pass template, so I will call here template, and then we created this template here, so I will pass it here. And the second one is input variables, and our input variable is nothing but this question here, so I can just write it here, question. And now let us execute our code. Now let us print prompt. So here you will see this is our prompt template, and our input variable is question, and template is this one, this question, answer, and question and answer. Let's think step by step. Now we are going to access Mixtral LLM model from Hugging Face Hub. So I'll just make one variable LLM underscore, or just LLM, and then I will call this Hugging Face Hub that we had imported here, this one. And inside this we have to pass our Mixtral model repo ID, and here we have to pass our LLM model. So let's go to Hugging Face and search for Mistral. So I will just go here, huggingface.co, and here I will just search Mixtral, and this is the first one. You can see from Mistral AI we have this Mixtral 8x7 billion parameters LLM model. I will click on this, and then here you will see an option of copy model name to clipboard. I will copy it from here. I'll come back to our Jupyter notebook, and then I will paste it here. This is our first parameter, that is our LLM model, and the second one is model quarks, and this will take two parameters. The first one is temperature, and I will explain you the meaning of this temperature. And the second parameter is maximum length, and I will also explain you this maximum length. And this is going to be, let's say I'm going to write it as 100, and then let us execute our code. Let us print our LLM model. So we have this LLM model of Mixtral's 8x7 billion parameters, and our parameters for model quarks are temperature and maximum length. Temperature is nothing but, so it has values between 0 and 1. A higher temperature value increases creativity, making the LLM more likely to produce unexpected output. So if your temperature goes, or it comes near to value of 1, then it becomes more creative, and your result would be not exactly correct. And the lower value of temperature, it promotes consistency in result. So if your value is below 0.5, then you will see a consistent result from your model, and 0.5 is a balance between creativity and consistency. So if you want to make sure that your model works balanced, so you will write here 0.5, but I want my model to be a little creative, that is why I am putting a 0.6. Maximum length, it means the maximum number of tokens allowed for a single request, and token consists of subwords. Here 100 means no response produced by model shall exceed 100 tokens. But you have to keep in mind that reaching limit does not mean the models will stop mid-sentence, but rather it will terminate once the token count reaches the defined threshold. Now let us try our model by providing a question. So we have this model here, LLM model from Mixtral AI. Now we are going to pass a question and we will ask our model to give us answer. I will write here question, and question I'm writing here because our input variable takes question, so therefore you have to write here question. And then let's say I'm going to type what is a solar system, and then I will execute our code. Now to get the answer we will use this LLM object, so I will call this function print, and then I will pass our LLM object, and from this we are going to use the method invoke to get the output, and inside this we will pass this question that we are asking our LLM model. So I will write it here question, and let us execute our code. And I have to write here E. Now it is generating output. Let's wait for a second. And here you can see we got the output. It says that a solar system is a star and all of the objects that orbit around it. The most famous solar system is our own, which contains the sun and everything that orbits around it, including the 8 planets, their moons, the asteroid belt, comets, and dwarf planets. So it has given information about the solar system, and we can change this question as well. So let's say instead of solar system I will write here what is Earth, and then let us execute this code. Now here you will see in the output it says Earth's core is made up of iron and nickel. The core is divided into two parts, the inner core and the outer core. The inner core is solid and the outer core is liquid, and so on. So you can see that our LLM model is working really well, and not just the Mixtral, but you can use other LLM model as well. But I found that the output or the results from Mixtral is much better compared to other LLM model that are available on Hugging Face. So that is why I have used this here. So these are the steps that are involved in creating a prompt. The first one is you have to set environment variable. You have to get your API token, and you can use this get fast function to hide your API keys. And once you have done that, then you have to set your environment variable like this. And after that you have to create a template, and once you have this template, then you have to create a prompt template using this function, and it has two parameters, template and input variables. Then you have to create one LLM model, and once you created that LLM model, you can use this LLM model to ask question and you will get the output. That's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.